Alright, today we're going to continue to fail on the ladder, as is my job here. Thank you, thank you. We're going to do that because we're going to play something that is not Indoor or Scouts. Really the only decks you can rank up with are Indoor or Scouts, or arguably TF Swain. But because we're not playing those, we're never going to get a Platinum. We're just going to keep playing whatever the hell we feel like. And today, that is another mid-range deck. This one is, instead of using Asol, as we are in our other Leona deck, we're trying Lux and Leona here. So really we're looking to beat the aggro decks pretty convincingly, to have a decent game against other mid-range decks, but we are very vulnerable to decks that go over the top of us. As you see, the curve ends at 6 here, so we don't have huge effects like Asol. We don't have huge effects in general, and Asol decks, ramp decks, decks of that nature that go very long, Ledros decks to some degree are going to have a pretty decent game against us. The control decks that are looking to feast on, the mid-range carcass that we are, that's usually going to be the case. Occasionally we're going to be able to win those games with, Bastion and Hush being able to shut down a potential Indoor throw, but it's definitely not the best deck in the format. And I explained why Indoor is the best deck in format a couple times, but I'll explain one more time. The primary reason I think Indoor is the best deck in the format is because it's an aggressive deck that has a potential draw of dealing 13 damage on turn 3. That is Bark Beast into Cursed Keeper into Caretaker. That's 3 2/1s, 2 of which have Challenger, a 4/3, and a 3/3, all swinging on turn 3. That is, I'm pretty sure, the fastest aggressive clock in the game. It's pretty fucking insane, and it happens more often than it really should. As well as having an incredible, crushing aggressive draw. The deck has pretty powerful outs with Kalista, and some versions run Elise, some versions run Sejuani. I can't honestly say which is better. I think I prefer Sejuani, but they're both fine. It runs plenty of direct damage via Stalking Shadows and Doom Beast. It also has access to, of course, Endure and Atrocity for the finish. Now, combining all these things together, you get a very resilient deck that can kill from the beginning, or can kill from the middle, or can kill from the combo, and the combo can occasionally not be interrupted at all. 7 mana plus 6 mana equals Endure and Throw. Game over. So if you really want wins, if you really want to rank up, the best deck is Indoor, period. That will change when you get to Masters and people are trying to play and counterplay one another. But for ranking up in general, I think you're best served by playing Indoor. Scouts is also very, very powerful, and is another example of a deck that can even beat decks designed to beat it. Because if I go to play Keg Control and Make It Rain, and you have Ranger's Resolve at the right time, I lose the game on the spot. That's just it. Ranger's Resolve can win you the game on the spot as a Scouts player. Period. It's fucking nuts. Just like Indoor being thrown can win you the game out of nowhere for the Indoor deck. Whereas decks like this, it's a good deck, but it has vulnerabilities that are not present in the other two top decks as I described them. I enjoy this deck. It has a curve out that can be really fulfilling in your 1, 2, and 3, and 4, which does happen on occasion, and even 5. Sometimes it doesn't happen though. Lux is an interesting champion. I don't know if Lux is really good. Essentially, you're looking to trigger Lux off of Remembrance, ideally, but you can also Star Shaping or Concerted Strike into a Pale or a single combat. And normally Lux builds are filled with 6 mana spells, and I'd considered initially using Remembrance and Sunburst, but I didn't really want to cut Concerted Strike because I feel like the fast speed is really, really important. And the fast speed, along with some big 5-power critters like Ravan and the Radiant Guardian, tends to be pretty good. So if I was going to experiment with that version, it would probably be removing Concerted Strikes and adding in 6 Sunbursts, so that we have 6 spells to to trigger Lux. For now, we're trying it this way. I don't know if it's any good. It's probably not any good, for all the reasons I just described. But it is the sort of Runeterra that I like to play. And one of the aforementioned three ranking decks. I can't honestly say if this is a good matchup. It seems like it should be. Our fight spells measure up well to their creatures, but they do have some really crushing aggressive draws that can be pretty hard to get out from under. Do we want to keep Radiant Guardian? This is a pretty aggressive deck. I don't know if I can afford to keep a 5-drop this early, though. If they go like Pirate into House Spider, we'd be in real big trouble really quickly. Because of our curve here, I'm going to play this even though I'm wasting a power.
Bless the faithful and
so then I can play this. And we're going right into Leona being leveled.
unyielding light.
We could actually end up having a deck that's a match that runs straight into casting Morning Light, right? Which is probably going to be like a Keg Producer and Make It Rain. Because life is pain.
You'll fight or you'll swim.
Isn't it cool being psychic? Aren't you all super impressed by how psychic I am? So now we're going to lose our entire board. Which is fair. And their Swain's going to be level 2. And there's nothing we can do about it.
Daylight warms the heart and lights the way.
Good design. I think Make It Rain needs to cost 3. I think Petty Officer needs to be looked at.
The dawn has arrived.
Carry her light across the mountain.
Behold the divine power of the sun!
Being that we essentially just got 3 for 1 in a way that offered no counterplay. Feels pretty
Behold
bad,
the
man.
sun's holy light. Packed him good.
Follow the horizon.
Unwavering strength. Clear off.
It's probably going to be Fervor. Yep. And he's already leveled Swain, and it's only turn 4. Wow. I feel like I'm making a really good example of why the 3 top decks are just incredibly broken. Like, just absurdly, incredibly broken. Like, nothing comes even remotely close to them.
The dawn has arrived.
Carry her light across the mountain.
Probably a Twisted Fate. Or removal. Cool. We've killed our entire board flawlessly without missing a step. 2 of our champions dead.
We can do this!
He's not doing us any favors at the moment. Our best bet is to probably... We're going to have 8 mana, right? To play this next turn and hope we can get a 6. Oh no, that won't be enough. Pretty good.
Devotion to battle.
We have not been able to do anything this entire game.
The losing side.
We've had 0 plays, 0 player agency, 0 action, 0 impact on the game. Which again, folks, if you're enjoying this, please consider sending this particular match to Riot to remind them of how they're fucking up the balance of their game catastrophically. Because this isn't a game. This is what's happening here. This isn't a game. The result is predetermined.
Deal me in.
Stun, sure.
All that glitters.
So I think we're gonna go 1 and 4 now
Ours is the one
to
true
have a
light.
better block.
Who's falling for blood? The guilty were banned.
Do we want to play this, or do we want to protect the Lux? We can't cast it now because he could easily just Noxian Fervor in response. None of these are great. I think I'm in for the card draw, though.
I am more myself than ever.
And again, there's nothing we really could have done there other than full passive, which just gives some value.
Lights out.
We are ahead on cards, if that matters at all, and it really doesn't feel like it's going to. So I think because we just picked up the Radiant Guardian, we're going to play the Priest first and try to get them to activate our Radiant Guardian for us. I think here we need to start thinking about what we're going to do if they play Leviathan, so Fallen Comet
Bask
becomes
in her
good.
radiant blessing.
Destination in sight.
This does kind of fuck up the ebb and flow of our turn a bit, but it is what it is. So he has another Make It Rain. Or Flock. Probably a Make It Rain.
Lady Luck is smiling.
Mm-hmm. Let's, do we want to try to take that out? Do we want to try to take this out while we can? Or are we happy with Radiant Guardian?
Believe or burn.
For now, we're probably happy with Radiant Guardian.
Have faith. Virtue guides me.
Prepare
Fuck.
the cargo.
Well, now we just lose, folks.
Artillery barrage.
25 cards left in his deck. He drew the second Leviathan, which is extremely unlikely, but of course he drew it.
Daylight everlasting.
That's not a Sunburst. So now we're at a point in the game where we absolutely cannot win. We probably should have taken the trade for the Pale. Now it doesn't matter.
Empire above all! By my hand will Noxus rise. Grand General! Return fire!
If we kill this, he just plays another one. If we keep this alive, do we have any other outs? I don't think we do. Also gains us more life. That's a pretty good hit. That might get us out of this. That might have exactly been what we needed. Sure. Oh, so we had Flock and Swain. Okay. We need to hope we can draw something to kill this soon, because when this levels, we're going to be real effed. Just proper effed. Chances of having a salvage are pretty high since we haven't seen one yet. So potentially get us a Sunburst or a Priestess.
May our light shine forever!
Morning Light. Morning Light draws us 2 Daybreak cards. It's okay. Damn it.
My faith protects me.
Try to win the game. Not get a Sunburst. That sucks. We have nothing that can interact with the Twisted Fate. It's gonna level. Fuck.
We will not suffer unbelievers.
They will not escape punishment. Power of the horizon.
Justify yourself.
Noxious here. Guillotine. Okay. Overwhelms everything? Sure. Maybe that'll do it.
Warriors,
So this is gonna level. Nothing we can do about that.
Looks like I'm on a hot streak.
Single combat, beautiful. So I think we're just gonna cut these off this turn. And we'll just cast Scourge next turn.
I'll be right back.
We're hoping this isn't another Twisted Fate. Because that would really be our luck, you know? Wow. This is all just gas, right? I think he's dead regardless at this point. I think we just open swing. I mean, he could have Rex.
Mars. You lack discipline.
Gonna fervor himself. Let's really hammer home how dead he is. What an annoying game that was.
This must be me.
Somehow, off a top deck Concerted Strike and a Pale Cascade, we beat our deck we have no business beating. Cool. It's all downhill from here. Good deck, but not on par with the three that I mentioned at the beginning of the show. Can still kill the hell out of you. Make no mistake, a tier 2 deck can still kill the hell out of you with a good draw. Hush doesn't seem like it does much in this matchup. If we get Lux online, it would be awesome in this matchup. Okay, so now we have the options of just passing the first few turns to Remembrance, or playing Shield Bearer defensively if we think it's worth it. If that's a Pirate, then we're probably playing this. Powder Monkey. Okay, we're not playing this then, because whether that hits us or we block it, it does damage and gets the trigger. And they already got their warning shot off, so we'll just go with the Remembrance on turn 3 and hope that it isn't a Radiant Guardian. Unfortunately, we drew Hush again. Why do I talk words? That is profoundly awful for us. They're kind of unstoppably accelerating towards their trigger plan now, and we cannot interact with it in any way whatsoever.
You'll fight or you'll swim!
Sure, sure.
My faith protects me. Out before they know.
Going very, very wide, very quickly.
You cannot sway me.
Well, their champions are going to be a huge problem, and our life total is already a huge problem. Man, getting Radiant Guardian might have cost us the game. I believe there are 5 or 6 5 drops that can summon. Radiant Guardian is the absolute worst one because you're almost always casting this in the way that I did on turn 3. So you're not going to have had a death to feed it. And their powder monkeys make it so that we can't really attack for any profit.
Warriors of the Raharat, our time is now!
We'll follow you to the edge of daybreak.
We do really need to get a Radiant Guardian out if we want to stabilize our life total.
Best hope they'll do, mate.
Well, if that didn't disappear, we were going to pull it. This is like the worst thing you can get for Daybreak. Yeah, we're just getting bad random generations this time. I think we're going to lose to that. Zenith Blade was bad, Radiant Guardian was bad. This is leveling this turn. Jeez.
Pain is nothing.
Okay, so what we're going to do is going to wait for them to pull that, and then we're going to use our Consecrated Strike, or Concerted Strike. I think we'll play this first. That'll leave us with 5 mana. And Golden Sisters or Warrior. Warrior would clean up this board a bit. Golden Sisters seems good too, though. We're low on
Daylight
life.
warms the heart and lights the way. Open wide, sugar. Born for conquest.
Let them bleed out.
It's our time.
Okay, so unfortunately this is leveling, and there's nothing we can do about that. We can't save both. I guess we shouldn't have played the Priestess, thinking about how this attack works out.
Back the darkness.
Because they're going to strike us, this is going to level. And it's all just bad news.
Fall,
Fuck.
heretic. I will end this here.
Back, heretic.
Bilgewater is mine and mine alone.
Wow. Yeah, we're losing this one, folks. We just did not get a draw that was viable.
Explosives.
So, Radiant Guardian is far too late at this stage. I think we're just casting the Golden Sisters to try to get a little life gain. And probably just dying next turn.
What once was
Leona would have been good too, but draw was just untenable. Now we get more life gain.
Fight for your lives.
Done here. They also do Sejuani, Gangplank Sejuani after a perfect curve to level them. There are a lot of games where you actually don't get to play, and this is a good example of one of them. There were no decision points we could have made there that were significantly different. Even if we hadn't played the Priestess on that turn, we could have potentially paled and Consecrated Striked. We would have taken 2 additional damage, which would have put us to 2, which would have killed us with a keg and anything. A keg and a warning shot, a keg and a parlay. There were a million ways we lose in that game, and nothing we can do to change it. It would be nice if there were more games that actually involve player agency. This certainly is not one of them. If you have recommendations for games that I should check out or maybe play on stream that have a greater degree of player agency, I'd love to hear from you. Maybe keep the remembrance as well. Huh. I sometimes wonder if these should be in here, if they should maybe be, sketchy spacers. Sure, we'll make one.
Ours is the one true light. Follow the horizon.
Teemo decks are interesting. This one essentially tries to lock you out of the game with Sejuani. Once there's enough mushrooms in your deck and Sejuani's leveled, you may never get another turn.
No mercy for heretics. Glorious end.
So now if it's Radiant Guardian, that would be great.
There's a little fella asking for me.
Interesting. Okay. This is something we would like to get off the table, but may have a little trouble doing that.
My faith protects me.
Peer beyond.
You will be scoured from this land.
They're going to be getting pretty big here pretty quickly.
Feathers. An auspicious season.
Yep. Gonna start getting very, very large things. It's gonna get scary. It's gonna get very scary. You do not have good plays here.
We will not suffer unbelievers.
They will not escape punishment.
2, 3, 4.
As much as I want to kill the peddler, maybe we gotta kill Teemo. And again, because we have nothing else to do with our mana. They should have no means to interact with this. If they shut down one creature, the other creature gets them.
Grow free. I did my best.
Triple Pale Cascade is pretty fucking unfortunate. Yeah, we're really,
Strike for justice.
really living down to what this deck can do, huh?
Devotion through battle.
We're just gonna have to burn one for no card to burn another. Because we're drawing bad, and that's all that we can
I'm a
do.
peddler, not a meddler.
Okay, so... You. You. Guess we could have cast the third one.
Sunward. I got ways to find me mushrooms.
We're probably protecting the Radiant with Star Shaping. Or Radiant Guardian flooded.
Bow to no one.
So I think now we're actually casting this, even though it's not triggering, so that we can
I
cast
fight
Strike.
for the fallen.
Born for conquest.
So now if they have a way to kill the 3-1, we're kind of screwed. Like if they have another Mystic Shot.
I refuse. Oh, that's a harvest right there.
Starting to look like things are circling the drain for them now. So I think we swing here and we can just pale for the game.
You will be scoured from this land. Excuse you.
Now if they have removal, they have to... Yep. Okay. That worked. That's a much easier matchup. I hate how some of these protein bars are super crumbly. They just make a huge mess. Fucking up my desk, man. Which is already dirty. Because I'm human. Well, mostly human. Let's low roll. Went. Yep. We get nothing. Okay, so we're up one game. Need a new trash bag.
Take your marks. Set.
Okay, so this is the indoor matchup. We're hoping we find a Hush. Remember how in the beginning of the show I said that their best theoretical draw was Bark Beast into Curse Keeper into Caretaker swing for 13?
Fear the heretics.
Let's see what happens. Oh boy.
Ours is the one true light.
I'm already pre-angry.
That egg, did it move? Punish transgressions.
Yeah, we gotta swing here. I don't know, we probably don't want to swing with that.
You have to get me out of here.
We can't avoid the Bark Beast leveling up. This thing is just a 3-3 for 1 in this deck. It's always a 3-3 for 1 in that deck. We cannot avoid it.
What does he want from me?
Okay, now they play Blighted. They get to kill my entire board for free.
Strange glow.
Or they play Callista. Callista would be pretty bad too. At least Callista, we have the option to shield bear into single combat at the moment, which is quite lucky. What are you thinking, indoor player? Oh, wow. We high rolled an Undying off of Warden Spray. Once again, exceptionally bad for us.
Unyielding light.
Uh-huh. I think we're gonna bank this. It might have been right to single combat there while we had the excess health.
I am the bulwark against
But I felt like it
darkness.
might be more important to save it for a Callista.
Bask
As
in the
Callista
light's
level would
radiance.
pretty screw us. Yeah, once again, we have no attacks here. Nope, we got no attacks. And this is why this deck is the best deck in the format, bar none. Because they've created a board state in the first few turns where I can't attack. None of my attacks are profitable. They also have an endgame win condition that is, whenever the game goes on for any amount of time, they just automatically win. There's really no deck that's more powerful in the format than this deck. And it's not even remotely close. If you think it is, you don't understand the game. And see, they can swing freely here, which tells me they almost certainly have an Endure in their hand. And we currently do not have any answer for it. So...
No mercy for heretics.
I will protect you. You cannot sway me.
The guilty will bang.
We'll play our Radiant Guardian. And we'll get ready to die to win Endure. Could be a glimpse.
I fight for the fallen.
Could be a deal one, Unspeakable Horrors. Well, that's just funny. Wow, really? Huh? Must not have had the Endure.
Daylight everlasting.
And we were swinging for 8 next turn, gaining all our life back. Not bad, not bad. What are we at clockwise here? I think we are about... Yeah, we're about good. I've been Gravity Group for Not Safe for Work Runeterra. I hope you've enjoyed this a little bit and had some fun. If you have, I would love for you to leave a comment or to like or to dislike. Subscribing would also be awesome. If you do want to support the content, if there's a deck you'd like me to play, you can check the description below, and there is information about that in there. Also links to my book and my Twitter and all that happy horse shit, which you are free to patronize or not. I'm not the boss of you, man. Thanks so much for hanging out, and I will see you next time. Boom. Later. We all must endure.